Well, welcome along to the Timeform Sporting Life Weekend preview. Dave Ord joined by Kieran Clark and Ben Linfoot. We're previewing QEII British Champions Day at Ascot. Soft ground scoop, inner track switch, overnight rain. Are you still excited?
I am excited, Dave. Yeah, I think we can take all that into account. But the fields have held up really well. There's some really good clashes on show, the likes of Clandagan v Economics, which we'll quickly get onto. So it's a really good day. It's a good day for punters as well. I think there's some interesting angles we can dig out. Obviously, soft ground on the inner track and testing ground on the straight course as well. But there's some good bets to be had and some good sport to enjoy.
Plenty of rain due as well. I think we'll best mention that potentially 8 mils overnight on what's already pretty soft ground. So
yeah. Listen to the intro. I mentioned that in the intro. It was included in there. I mean, I don't. This is scripted. Well, very good point by Kieran. We've got rainfall on the way. We've also got the Timeform ratings for the feature QEII Champions Stakes. We've touched upon the big clash here. Fascinating it is. Clandagan 135p, £3 clear of Economics. Nashwell, question mark. We've only seen it in the Sun Chariot this domestic season. 130, question mark. Los Angeles is third fav. He's 128, £7 below Clandagan, who tops the shop. Kieran, let's talk about the French raider. He's not the favourite in the betting. He's top of the Timeform ratings. We've got a video of him, and this is running behind City of Troy and the Juddmonte International. This was a mighty run. He's on the left-hand side in the Aga Khan Silks.
Yeah, they brought a track record this day, but it still wasn't then to gallop. Ryan Moore sort of wound it up from the home turn, and he did really well in the circumstances, I thought. He's passed near enough the whole field, but he's found obviously one of the best horse in training too. Good at if you go on Timeform ratings. City of Troy 130 P is the best horse in training currently, and they've pulled clear of Ghostwriter, who's clear of the Arc winner Blue Stocking. It's just rock solid form, and he's a horse with a turn of foot. Now he's won in soft ground. It seems like his form's gone up another level since he went on to quick ground. He's really impressive at Royal Ascot, but I think the ground will hold no fears. Potentially the draw might be tricky, we'll touch on later, but I think he's definitely the one to beat. We've seen what Goliath did in the King George, and it looks like we've got another French raider who looks to be rock solid to me. And he's been kept fresh for this as well, because obviously he couldn't run in the Arc because he's a gelding. So I do think he's the one to beat, but Economics is some stiff opposition.
Here's Economics Scoop winning the Irish Champion Stakes for Willie Haggis. Champions Day is often a day when you have to win ugly. Things don't necessarily allow you to glide through your races. And here we are seeing Economics winning at Leopardstown, and he wins despite things going against him.
Yeah, he does. He's there on the outside, the big white face. And things didn't go his way this day, and he did have to knuckle down. But I was really impressed with the way he knuckled down to beat Auguste Rodin and Shin Emperor, Los Angeles, there on the rail. I loved his attitude because he looks beaten here, doesn't he? He looks beaten. Auguste Rodin looks like he's gonna come and win. Obviously, Los Angeles on the outside there. Sorry, Kieran.
Right.
And
honest, same colour scoop. It's all right.
Yeah, but it was his attitude, the way he did it, the way he dug in to win. People are perhaps crabbing the form because they all finished in a bit of a heap.
Yeah.
And I can understand that, but I thought he won despite adversity. I think he's a son of Night of Thunder who's going to handle the ground. I know he's not proven on it like Clandagan is, but I do think he will go through it just fine. And I just wonder if he might be better positioned here than Clandagan. We know Clandagan's a bit of a hold-up horse. We're on the inner track. It's a tight inner track. You haven't got much time to come from the rear. That could be a deciding factor in this race. So it's not all about the big two, but out of the big two, I do like Economics.
Let's talk Los Angeles, Ken. We saw him on the outside in that Irish Champion Stakes. He's subsequently finished third in the Arc de Triomphe, but here he is in the Irish Derby. The one thing this horse does is battle, isn't it? They struggle to get to the bottom of him.
Yeah, and he's massive as well. I think he's going to be even better at 4. He's probably like a King George type for next year. I think the fact that he'll need a real test at this trip. He went from the front in the Arc. I thought he might win the Arc. He ran really well in third. Aidan said it didn't go quick enough for him. So I think they'll try gunning from the front. It's just, is he quite quick enough? Even in rain softened ground, is he going to be quick enough for 1.25 miles? I think he's going to try gallop the finish out of them. It is a relatively quick turnaround. He did have a hard race. In France, he'd be on the scene. I just think he's more 1.5 miles type for me. The trip was especially like Scoop said, if they're round a sharper bend, It was just a trip I had the concern for Los Angeles, but I won't be surprised if he ended up a real top-notch 4-year-old.
Let's have a look now at the time form, pace map, and the draw angle for this QEII Championship. And Kevin, you made a point about the draw. Are you worried about one for Calandagan?
I am a bit, Dave. Yeah, it's because the bend comes up really quickly. So usually what we see happening, especially at the Royal meeting, is those drawn high stay towards the outside. They get the prominent position, and you've got to really rouse those along who were drawn low to get a position, or you've got to take back, and it can be a track that it is quite hard to come from behind, even on quick ground, let alone in potentially heavy ground. So I think Pasquier's going to take a pull and sit out the back, and that could be to his detriment. Now, who's going to make it? Los Angeles is probably going to be there on the outside. He'll come across. I think Continuous will have to be up there as well, given his proven stamina. And Economics will probably sit in behind them. They've got the likes of See the Fire coming back up in trip. I think she'll be quite handy as well. And Nashwa, who can be free, she'll drop in. So tactically, it could be quite interesting. And I think one who is probably going to go from the front is Royal Rhyme, who will absolutely love the ground. Now, he might not be good enough. He might not be classy enough, but this ground is a leveller, and he's currently 50-1. And we were just discussing off air, Scoop. He could be a live each-way contender.
Yeah.
Go on then, Scoop. Is he the selection? Is he the tip for the QEII Champion Stakes?
Do you know what? I've been thinking all week about this because it's difficult. It's difficult when you've got horses the class of Calandagan and Economics, and you've only got 3 places to play for. Is it worth having a pop on a 50-1 shot? But I do think that is the case with Royal Rhyme, because Kieran's alluded to it. He's 4 from 4 on ground that Time Farm have recorded as soft.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be key. Handling the conditions on Saturday is going to be crucial. Tactically, he could be well positioned off the front end. I think when we saw him chasing home City of Troy in the Drummond International, he was the one who sort of ruined his race by trying to put it up to City of Troy early in the straight, and he ended up fading into
Very
6.
quick ground as well.
Very quick ground, which was against him. So I thought it can be marked up on that run, and it can be marked up on his run in the Irish Champion as well, where he had to switch and wasn't beaten far. So I think at 50-1, there's a lot of positives for Royal Rhyme, and a small each way bet against the big 2. I know it's hard to see him beating them, but at the prices, I can't resist him.
I thought he'd be more 25s than 50. So the draw and tactics put me off Calandagan. I think he's the best horse in the race. I think Economics' most impressive performance, bar the Dante, was probably what he did in France. It really impressed me that day. And he's a big striding horse, so the track should suit him. But yeah, I'd chance a very small each way Royal Rhyme at 50s.
There you are, a couple of selections for 50-1 shot in the QEII Champion Stakes. The Queen Elizabeth II is a feature race for the milers. Let's have a look at the time form ratings graphic for this one. Top of the shop, the best older miler this season in Sharon on 133, £1 clear of Tamfana. Kevin Charin, it's been a difficult season in some ways for Roger Varian, but he's been a real flag bearer for him throughout it.
When I stood in the paddock at Doncaster at the start of the season watching him win a listed race, I didn't think we had a multiple Group 1 winner on our hands, but I think he is a better performer this year, but he hasn't improved on figures-wise. He's only improved 3 or 4 pounds from what he's already shown. And I think it's just a lack of depth at a mile for the older horses. He hasn't faced a Rosalian or a Notable Speech. Yes, he's beat Metropolitan before, but I think this is his toughest task to date, Sherry. Now, he didn't get the best of rides in France last time. That was a strange... Was it the Moulin he ran in?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a real weird race. They went no pace, and the winners nicked it from the front, and he shaped best in second. Now, if you saw those ratings there, Tamfana, who's coming off a Sun Chariot win, she really impressed me at Newmarket, actually, and she'll love the ground. Now, her price has contracted a bit. She's now sort of 3 second favourite, and then you've got the likes of Factor Cheval and Henry Longfellow just a little bit behind them. So the betting has it as a bit of a match, but I don't think it is. I think this is quite an open race, and I suppose the way to look at it would be to see if Tamfana can beat it, getting that Sexton weight for age allowance.
Let's talk Tamfana. Let's see her. They campaigned her over further for much of the season, dropped back to a mile here at Sandown, and then went on to win the Sun Chariot. Philly arriving on a real roll. Yeah,
she's thriving, Dave. Really bounced back to form this day there in the green cap when winning the Atlanta Stakes, a Group 3 at Sandown. She was obviously tried over middle distances, but I think dropping back to a mile has been key, and she even improved on this form when running away with the Sun Chariot last time under Colin Keane. That was a really impressive performance on good to soft ground at Newmarket on the Rowley Mile course. We know she handles testing ground, so you just think that all the stars have aligned here for her with £6 weight and sex allowance. She's drawn next to Sharon. Oisin Murphy's going to be able to keep close tabs on him. And I think she's the one. It's just at the weights. I think Sharon's a good horse, but he has been beaten twice this season when he should have won before. He should have won the lock-ins.
In the £6.
He should have won in France, giving that weight away to an improving 3-year-old who's thriving in conditions that are absolutely ideal. I know who I'm with.
It's just the price that's... I did the time form report for her last time, and she was 13-2, 7-1 in the aftermath. And now her price in the last few days, she's 6s to 3s, and that's enough for me to try find an alternative. And
I must admit, it's the one thing putting me off, but I couldn't go against it.
No,
I'm just not sure I'm going to back it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tactically quite interesting, Dave.
Well, let's have a look at the pace map. If you think it's tactically going to be interesting, this is how time forms keep being run. Pace in the middle there, potentially, Kieran. How do you see it panning out?
I just can't get last year's QE2 out the back of my mind, where it was bad ground and Big Rock went a good gallop and they just didn't see which way he went. And it was similar across the whole card. Art Power made all the Matt Johnson, Charlie Johnson, winner of
Gatekeeper.
That's the one. He won the Balmoral, made all
on the round card.
And I think they're just going to send Henry Longfellow. He's looked like he's a horse that's going to need a mile and a quarter. But he went from the front, admittedly round the bend in the St James's Palace. Rosellian collared him late on, but that was a very good race. Things didn't quite go to plan at Goodwood. I'm not sure he liked the track, and he ran in that race behind Sharon last time. Now, I think he's a strong steer at a mile, and I think they're going to send him from the front now. It's a case, is he going to last home? We've got a real mudlark in this, in fact, a Cheval as well, who picked up the pieces last year and finished second, but he might have to concede first run again. And at the prices, the double figure odds are just starting to go at the time of recording. He's sort of an 15-2 chance now, but I thought he's a rock solid each way bet because a few of these might not handle the ground. And I won't be surprised if the money came for him. What price are you there, Scoop? You got it up? Yeah, about 8-1. First 3. Someone might go first 4 tomorrow, but I'd be willing to take a chance on him and just try to run the finish out of him.
And Tam Farner for you, Scoop?
Tam Farner for me, yeah. Henry Longfellow is a key horse, and agree with everything Kieran said there, really. I do think they're going to attack from the front. He just looks like a horse to me that wants 10 furlongs now. And I'm just worried that a genuine miler, and there's a few in here, might get to him. And for me, that filly's Tam Farner.
Fair.
There's 4 other races, 6-race card. Cape Crow British Champions Day. Give us a bet from elsewhere, Kevin.
I think the Balmoral's fascinating. Now, I've mentioned the race for Kirat the last twice he's ran, but he's missed the cut by 1. Now, he is first reserve. If he gets in, he's a half-sister to Blue Stock, and he's very interesting. But in his absence, there's an absolute mudlark in this who won the Lincoln at the start of this year, Mr. Professor. Now, he's switched yards. He's been one of these who's gone from French Davis to Raphael Frere. Now, he hasn't actually switched yards.
He's not moved.
He hasn't actually physically moved. It's just a different name on the licence. But he goes really well fresh. He's been freshened up for this, and he loved the ground. He won the Lincoln on heavy at the start of the season. He's a real mudlark, and I thought he was a good each-way player. First 6, first 7 placings, around 14s. I do like the German filly in the fillies and mares as well. I think Kalpana looks quite skinny. She has to prove herself on the ground. And Pasquier, big day for Pasquier. He's on that as well. I thought she had a chance about 9, so it'd be them 2 I was quite keen on.
Guantanamera,
that's it, yeah.
Like a song,
I couldn't read my own writing, so I forgot how to pronounce her.
Scoot, what's on your shortlist?
Yeah, I like the fillies and mares as a betting race. I'm against Kalpana as well. Respect her absolutely, but I think she's been very well found in the market on ground she's not proven on. And I like the look of an Aidan O'Brien outsider here, Dave. Wingspan under Sean Levy. She is out of Hydrangea, who won this race a few years ago by Dubois, stepping up to 1.5 miles for the first time. I think she's going to find plenty of improvement for stepping up in trip to 1.5 miles. She's only had the 5 runs and has been really progressive in those 5 runs. And I think we're going to see the best of her on Saturday. I think she'll go forward from the front end on the round course. Could be tough to reel in, and she's 22-1. And I think that's a good bit of business in what looks a wide open race, but tactically I think she's going to be suited, and I really like her profile for this. So yeah, Wingspan, best bet for me in the fillies and mares at 2.35.
There you go. Fantastic days racing ahead. Couple of big prize fancies for the guys. We start with the bang as well, don't we? With Kyprios Trawlerman taking on renewing rivalry in that stayer. So much to look forward to. Thanks to Ben. Thanks to Kieran. We'll be back next week to preview the weekend's action and whisper it, but Cheltenham's back. We've got the showcase meeting to preview, along with the final Group 1 of the flat season at Doncaster. But before then, best of luck with your own bets this weekend at Ascot.